I have to apologise first of all. There's no science of Ian Rush involved in this talk. First of all, I'm an editor and freelance writer. I generally write about the arts, design, film, and music. But when Dan kindly asked if I'd like to talk at Ignite, I jokingly replied that I would. I'd love to do a presentation on Liverpool Football Club legend Ian Rush, my childhood hero. I rethought that and thought, well, surely I should do that's me and my little brother in our Liverpool kits in Christmas '88, I think. I rethought it and thought, no, sorry, I'll go and do Ian Rush. As I said, these days I spend a lot more time looking at and writing about the arts, film and music for doublenegative.co.uk and others than I do about football. But football was my first love. I know it started with a throwaway joke that seemed the perfect excuse to tap into this. More specifically, my first love was actually Ian Rush. I should point out it was a platonic love entirely, despite his very fine moustache. So I'm kind of the perfect age and demographic to be an Ian Rush and Liverpool fan. I'm 35. And when I was growing up, Liverpool, it wasn't a fading giant. We didn't have an idiot fighting and most likely racist for Suarez to haggle with. It was an institution, a well-oiled machine, trying for winning matches. And at the spearhead of that well-oiled machine was Ian Rush. He was lethally efficient, the greatest goal scorer in the club's history, and arguably the best British goal scorer of his generation. I think I'm going too slowly here, so I'm going to move on to two of my finest memories of Liverpool and Ian Rush was two FA Cup finals, both against Everton. The first in 1986 and the second in 1989. And the first came up against a great kind of parallel striker, Gary Lineker, of the previous slide. But before the second final in '89, he had a year in Juventus where he struggled in Italy. And essentially, a quote has been attributed to him saying he didn't like it, it didn't fit in because of all those foreigners. But when he returned to Liverpool, it was kind of as understudy to John Aldridge. And that second FA Cup final I referred to was 1989 following the Hillsborough disaster, which my uncle actually attended, but fortunately returned from, unlike 96 other fans of Liverpool Football Club. So when the final was eventually agreed to be played, initially it was suggested that maybe we shouldn't play the final. And it came down to Liverpool and Everton, and ultimately John Aldridge and Ian Rush. Aldridge scored the first, with Rush again playing understudy from the bench, but filling in, came on in extra time and scored twice to decide the FA Cup final like he had done so in many other games. Rush was also part of the last Liverpool squad to actually win the Football League, which kind of dates me and dates Liverpool Football Club essentially quite drastically. Moving into the 90s, he displaced Aldridge and the challenge of Aldridge and continued to score goals for Liverpool. But eventually he'd be displaced himself by the form and start and arrival of Robbie Fowler, who took on the mantle of the lead goal scorer of Liverpool Football Club. Sorry, I'm ahead of the slides. So, as I said, moving into the 90s, basically Rush continued his career with Liverpool until 1996, when he moved on a free transfer to Leeds. He also finished as the Wales international top goal scorer with 28 goals in those appearances. But my ultimate memories of Ian Rush, it's not so much about his goals, as it is kind of the halcyon days of my childhood, when I didn't have to worry about watching Liverpool and the relief of a win, as opposed to the fear of a defeat and the ensuing 3 days of horror that followed for me and anyone around me. These days he hangs around Anfield with his buddy and old goal scoring foil, Kane Dalglish. He also basically hooks up the Wu-Tang Clan every now and again, which I know about thanks to Dan. Rumours of a re-recording of the Anfield rap with the Wu-Tang Clan. There's been absolutely no speculation about that, unfortunately. But ultimately what I remember is happy Christmases and happy times. There's me and my little brother in our Liverpool kits again. And I apologise for the lack of science and the 100% passion of my love for Ian Rush.